Ja, herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Ausgabe AC Talk und ich bin wieder unterwegs bei ADX. Warum bin ich unterwegs auch dort? Weil das bei mir alles um die Ecke ist. Um die Ecke, eine Stunde fahren, schon bin ich da. Und es ist relativ selten, dass man so ein Drillrig sieht. Das ist übrigens auch dieselbe Art, wie auch in Welchau benutzt worden ist. Und gleich einmal vorab, ich habe einen Conflict of Interest, ich bin Aktionär. Und vielleicht können Sie sich erinnern, im Frühjahr waren wir in der Nähe von Molln, Welchau, das Projekt geheißen. Und dort haben sie eigentlich sehr erfolgreich nach Öl und Gas gebohrt. Und jetzt sind wir allerdings nicht dort, sondern wir sind in einer anderen Richtung, auch noch immer in Oberösterreich, in Österreich. Und sie bohren dort auch wieder nach Gas. Und ist auch gleich neben der Autobahn, keine 5 Kilometer, sage ich mal. Ist wirklich eine spannende Sache, dass wir eigentlich so viel Gas und Öl in Österreich haben. Ian, thank you for your time. I say it in my German introduction. First, I have a conflict of interest. I'm a shareholder. Second is the last interview we do in Welchau.
Yes.
That was 6 months ago. And now we are not in Welchau. The most people maybe can realize, hey, it's the same drill rig. It looks like the same. No, we are not in Welchau. So that's mean there are a lot of interesting area around Welchau or in Upper Austria where you can find oil and gas.
Yes, definitely.
So what you're looking for? You're looking here for oil and gas or gas?
Here we're looking for gas. Actually, this rig 3 weeks ago drilled for oil at our Anshoff discovery, and we found more oil there, and we'll be producing that, more increasing our oil production in the beginning of December. So now this rig from Anshoff has come here. As you say before, it was working at Welchau. Now this is drilling for gas, and this is an area that there's been a lot of oil and gas discoveries in the past, and now we're trying to increase the amount of gas that comes from here. Now, in this area, it's mostly gas storage because there's not been a lot of gas discovered in the last, say, 10 years.
Okay. But that means also the people are not really looking for drilling something in Austria.
No, look, I mean, obviously, Austria has been dominated by two big companies historically. We're only the third company to come into Austria as an operator. We're a much smaller company, but we're very focused on both production and exploration. We still see a lot of potential in Austria, and we also think it's important for Austria to have its own energy, not to rely on all the imported energy that is currently coming into Austria.
Yeah, that's for sure. But what are the timeline here, and what you expect when you are successful here?
Well, we'll drill this well till the end of October, and that's when we expect to reach the main objective. If we find what we're looking for, then we'll come back in 3 months and we'll actually test the well to see how well it produces. And then after that, it usually would take about 1.5 years to build a pipeline to tie into the existing infrastructure, the existing pipeline infrastructure, before we can start producing.
Okay, how far is the pipeline?
It's about 4 kilometres from here, so it's a very short distance. So here we're operating in what we say the core area for oil and gas in Upper Austria.
Okay. So that's mean a lot of historical activities here in the last 20-30 years. I think it was not really too much. And now you with this, I cannot say high energy prices, but with the energy pressure what we have, especially that we cannot or we should not use the oil from Russia, the gas from Russia. So it's now more interesting to work on this. What is the success rate? What do you think? What is the chance that you really make here a discovery?
Yeah, we would say about 40%, which is quite good for exploration. But the important thing is we're moving down to an area a little bit further south than the historical exploration. So if this works, there's also many more structures to drill after this. So we can start with this and then move on and actually find a lot more gas. So, but what's important is, the big companies have a very, very big capitalization. Smaller things are not very interesting to them. Sometimes the best place to find oil and gas is where you've already found it. But for a smaller company, something like this can be very, very profitable. If this comes in, the value of this would be at least maybe one or twice the value of our company. So these things are very interesting for us and potentially very interesting for our shareholders. But also, if we keep doing this and we're successful, very interesting for the Austrian people and the Austrian economy.
Yeah, especially when the infrastructure is already there.
Exactly.
So, but it's interesting that you say it's what always the people say also from the mining industry.
Mm-hmm.
You find the new mine near the old mine. So
yeah.
it's the same like here
in
the
absolutely.
oil industry.
Yeah.
So you're looking in the old discoveries, what was in the past, and then you're looking for new ones.
Yeah, but also you have new technology. So with seismic, it now is much better. The way we process seismic is much better. So we can see a lot more things that they couldn't see 10 or 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. So that's why also we progress.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. So that means here in the next 2, 3, 4 weeks we will get news from them, mm-hmm. if it's really successful or not.
Yeah.
It's interesting for me to see this whole operation. It's not a small drill rig. Mm-hmm. It's really a huge one. You see mm-hmm. a lot of stuff here is running, mm-hmm. so it's a big operation. Now you understand why it's so kind of drilling cost 4 or 5 million.
Yep.
Then a lot of people working here. So it's
well, here we're drilling down to about 3,000 meters. In Welchau, where we were before, it was only 1,500 meters. Mm. But obviously, same rig, because you don't know exactly what you're going to encounter. So yeah, I mean, this rig has probably got the capacity 3,000 or 4,000 meters. So
okay, Welchau is a good point. We was there. I think it was March.
Correct. End of March. Yes.
End of March when we met us, and then they will say you must do a break for 6 months. Then you are not allowed to do some mm-hmm. work there. So now are some trucks coming.
Yeah, we're very busy here. This
is this a casing stuff or
this is additional drill pipe. So we've got to be drilling deeper. So we need. So what we have in the well now is we're down to 2,000 meters. So we have another 1,000 meters to drill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sie sehen, da tut sich was. Yeah, come to Welchau. So how are the plans now for Welchau? This 6 months period where you cannot work is now over. We'll come to
mm-hmm.
the end. Mm-hmm. So what are the plans at Welchau?
Yeah, so basically we had a license to operate for 6 months up until the end of March. We made our discovery, we put casing in the well, now we're coming back and we're going to test what we found 6 months ago. So we imposed that restriction because we knew during the summer months, obviously it's a touristic area, now we can be active again for the next 6 months. So we're hoping that we'll move on to Welchau probably by the end of October. We'll start operations and we'll come in with a smaller rig which will actually run pipe into the hole, we'll perforate the casing and then we'll be able to produce. So we're going to be testing the reservoirs, see what we produce, what rate it produces at, and then we can understand what Welchau is all about and if it's going to be commercial, and then obviously we will continue to appraise and drill at Welchau.
Mm-hmm. In one of your last press release about Welchau, I saw a paragraph in that there is also a parallel structure to Welchau mm-hmm. In the north, and maybe this is you have maybe the same than Welchau in this structure. Do you have any plans so far? Do you do some work there?
Yeah, we're working there now. I mean, we're doing geological work now. We actually have we're working with the University of Vienna. We have a lot of their geologists working on this together. It's a joint program. But what's really exciting is, Welchau, we found a lot of potential hydrocarbons there. It's a new area. But what's also exciting is we have a look-alike to Welchau only 6 kilometres to the north, which is also quite shallow. So it's something, obviously our priority is going to be proving up the reserves of Welchau, getting Welchau into production, but it's a new potential oil and gas province, and we've got something to follow up with. So for a small company, that's very exciting.
Okay. But to summarize a little bit, Welchau is much bigger than this one.
Yeah, Welchau is much bigger. Potentially, in terms of oil and gas equivalent, it could be 20 times as big. Okay. But it's a more challenging environment to operate. This is like you drill these, each well can produce it at a high rate, and you can put them into production. Once they're in production, once we've got a connection to the pipeline system, these things will generate cash flow very, very quickly. Welchau is something that can be very large value, but will take longer. So it's a much more of a strategic asset. This is much more of a sugar hit, if it works, where we get very good cash flow very quickly.
Okay. But you are not doing this alone. You do have also a partner here.
Yeah, I mean, really, our shareholders are getting to look at this opportunity for zero cost. So basically, we have M&D, which is a large European Czech company. They're also a service company, and they'll be paying essentially for the cost of the well. If it comes in, effectively we've had a free discovery. So, and then we retain a 50% interest, and there's an area where we would continue to explore with M&D. So they're a very good partner. They've been very supportive, but they also have good capability themselves. They're very active in the Czech Republic, also in Ukraine. So they're a good partner for us.
Okay. So, but to summarize a little bit, what we can really expect up to December or something on Newsflow.
Okay, so first of all, we'll find out what's happening here, and then we'll move to Welchau. We'll do our first test at Welchau. Probably we'll expect some maybe results the second half of November. But then those results will continue, because based on what we produce, we'll continue actually doing ongoing testing. Not because in actual fact, in Welchau we discovered 4 zones, and we're going to be testing the 2 most exciting zones. So we'll have probably continuous news flow for at least 2 months at Welchau.
Okay. Ian, thank you for the update. I hope good luck.
Thank you.
With the drill also in Welchau, and,
yes.
and hopefully you have a high success here. Thank you for the opportunity to meet you here.
It was
it's
a pleasure.
always
it's always good to see you.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see that something happened also in Austria.
Yeah. No. Well, we've been very busy the last 3 months. Obviously, we'll be drilling 2 wells and testing a 3rd well. It's a very active period for us and our shareholders.
Perfect. Yeah, hopefully we see it also in the share price.
Yes.
We saw it a little bit. We see a little bit movement in the last few weeks.
Yeah. Well, there's a bit of anticipation for this, but I think the majority of the anticipation is really in Welchau, because that's where people can see, big changes for the company.
For sure. Okay, Ian, thank you for your time.
My pleasure. All the best.
Ja, das war ein Update. Sie sehen hinter mir das Bohrgerät, das ist eben dasselbe, das auch in Welchau war. Wir haben auch erstes jetzt, wie gesagt, das ist nicht Welchau, dieses Projekt heißt Lichtenberg. The project name is Lichtenberg.
Correct.
Lichtenberg. Und das ist in der Nähe auch von der Autobahn. Also wenn Sie von Salzburg nach Wien fahren, fahren Sie eigentlich ziemlich direkt daneben vorbei. Ist wieder irgendwo in der Pampa. Es ist nicht wirklich was Großartiges daneben, und man sieht ja auch am Ende dann nichts. Das Wichtige ist eigentlich, 3-4 Kilometer im Norden ist eine Pipeline. Das ist altes Gebiet, da ist vor 30, 40, 50 Jahren wirklich viel gebohrt worden, auch viel gefunden worden, aber es ist in den letzten 15, 20 Jahren nicht wirklich was passiert. Er hat gesagt, die Erfolgsrate liegt ungefähr bei 40%. Die Kosten waren für sie eigentlich 0, weil sie einen Partner haben, einen tschechischen Partner, der die ganzen Kosten übernimmt für dieses Bohrloch. Und dadurch ist es, wenn Sie dort eine Discovery machen, ein Free Discovery. Sie sind südlich der alten Funde, aber es gibt halt neue Technologie, neue Seismik, die eigentlich eine relativ hohe Chance hat, dass Sie halt hier hitten. Und hitten Sie hier, sind automatisch gleich mehrere andere Standorte auch noch interessant, wo Sie eben zukünftig bohren wollen. Von der Größe her ist sie natürlich kleiner als wie Welchau, aber viel schneller in Produktion, weil eben die Pipeline so nahe ist. Auch wir sprechen hier von Gas. Gas kann viel leichter dann transportiert werden in die Pipeline. Das ist eine offene Pipeline, das heißt, Sie können dort das sehr, sehr leicht dann verkaufen und in Produktion bringen. Er sagt aber trotzdem, wird es 1,5 Jahre dauern, bis das die in Cashflow dementsprechend produzieren. Aber wenn Sie hitten, dann haben Sie automatisch ein paar Standorte noch dazu. Das nächste ist Welchau. Welchau kommt gleich als nächstes dran. Sie hoffen, dass Sie Ende Oktober, November, Anfang November die ganzen Genehmigungen haben. Davon ist auszugehen, also dass Sie dort anfangen können. Dann wird ein kleineres Bohrgerät hingebracht. Es wird dann ein nachgebohrt oder nicht gebohrt, es wird zurückgegangen in das Bohrloch, es wird perforiert, sodass sie zur Förderung vorbereitet wird und dann wird Flowtest gemacht über einen längeren Zeitraum und dann wird man genau wissen, was sie eigentlich dort haben. Sie haben dort 4 Zonen, aber 2 Zonen dann sie jetzt nur mal testen. Und im Vorgespräch hat er mir gesagt, eigentlich ist viel, viel tiefer wahrscheinlich auch noch immer was, weil sie waren ja noch in der Gas-Öl führenden Zone, also es könnte da viel, viel tiefer noch nach unten gehen, aber das ist jetzt einmal nicht der Plan. Jetzt wollen sie das einmal testen, nachvollziehen, was ist da drinnen und dann erst sieht man, dann werden erst die nächsten Schritte eingeleitet. So, das war's. Heute ist, glaube ich, der 18. Oktober 2024 und sind wir mal gespannt, was in den nächsten Wochen da tatsächlich so passiert. So, tschüss und baba, pfiat euch. Das war von Lichtenberg in der Nähe, in Oberösterreich von ADX Energy. Tschüss und baba, pfiat euch. Ian, thank you for your time.
Thank you.